What happens when the people closest to the truth starts disappearing? Not one, not two, but a pattern of scientists and engineers and insiders dead, missing, or silenced. And now, even a sitting congressman says he's getting death threats. So here's the question. Is this coincidence or something much darker? I'm Greg Allison. I've spent decades around propulsion research, NASA programs, and the people behind advanced aerospace technology. I know some of these individuals that we're going to be talking about today, including Amy Eskridge and Dr. Ning Lee. And I'm going to approach this the way I usually always do, not hype, not wild speculation, but pattern recognition and risk analysis. So let's establish something up front. Scientists die, engineers die, people struggle with stress, finances, and mental health. That's real. But here's where it starts to get uncomfortable. When the number of deaths, the timing, the fields of research begin to overlap, that begs a lot of very serious questions. Right now, media outlets are talking about roughly 11 cases that are tied loosely to UFO, UAP research, advanced propulsion, nuclear, or classified programs. But based on what I'm seeing, that number is likely underreported. There are additional cases that don't make the headline count, including at least one more Huntsville-based propulsion researcher. And that matters because Huntsville is not just any town. It's one of the centers of advanced propulsion work in the United States. So let's talk about Amy Eskridge. I knew her, bright, driven, deep into advanced propulsion concepts. She reported threats, and then she's gone. Official narrative, suicide. But here's the problem. When somebody reports threats and then dies, that creates a question space. Not proof of anything, but definitely something you don't want to ignore. Now, let's go deeper. Dr. Ning Lee. She's not too much mentioned lately in these so-called 11 scientists and propulsion engineers that are missing or had untimely demise events. Well, when it comes to Ning Lee, I knew her well enough to visit her lab. She attended my rocket motor firings too. She was a member of our club, HAL 5. She was working on gravitational and propulsion related research. Then she goes dark, disappears from public view, including people that knew her well. We want to know, where did Ning Lee go? Years later, reported dead in what's described as an accident, run over by a vehicle. Again, individually, it could be nothing. But when you stack the cases, that's when the risk analysis kicks in. And that's where most people get it wrong. They try to prove a conspiracy, and well, that's not how professionals look at this. We look at clustering of events, similar domains of expertise, time and relationships, external pressure threats, funding, legal issues. And right now, there's a cluster forming, which does pose interesting questions. Then things escalate. Congressman Tim Burchett publicly states he believes in the reality of these phenomena, and more importantly, he says he's received death threats. Think about that. A sitting member of Congress, not a fringe figure, not anonymous. And that statement is even, if that statement is even partially accurate, That changes the risk profile of the entire situation. We have also cases like Matthew James Sullivan, a would-be whistleblower, ruled accidental overdose. Again, individually plausible, but as part of a larger data set, it adds weight. And some of these overdoses and other events, could it be stimulated? Could there be something behind it? And now let's address David Wilcox. And we need to be disciplined here. He was not a scientist or an engineer. He was associated with figures making highly questionable claims, including things like blue chicken aliens. Yeah, like Corey Good. And that hurts his credibility. So we treat this differently. However, two details matter. He had said previously that he was not suicidal. His biographer raised questions and died shortly before him, like 2 days. Now that starts to get somewhat suspicious. Does it prove anything? No. But it does contribute to the pattern of timing anomalies. What does it tell us? Comment below. But this is where the story shifts. Not from facts, but from interpretation. Because now we have multiple deaths, multiple fields connected to advanced technology, reported threats, public officials raising concerns. At some point, the possibility of pure coincidence starts to drop. So now let's do what most channels want. Let's challenge the narrative, possible explanations, selection bias. People are only counting the cases that fit into the story. High stress professions. These fields attract intense personalities and pressure. Media amplification. Once a narrative starts, everything gets pulled into it. Financial legal issues. Some individuals had external pressures unrelated to the work, like Wilcox. And these are real factors. And ignoring them would destroy credibility. But even accounting for all of that, we still have a concentration in specific research domains, repeated references to threats, timing clusters that raise real flags. And when a congressman says, I've seen too much, that should get your attention. So let's ask an uncomfortable question. If this isn't coincidence, what are the possibilities? Suppressions of sensitive technologies, foreign intelligence targeting researchers, internal compartmentalization gone wrong, or something even less understood. Notice what I'm not doing. I'm not jumping to conclusions. I'm defining the risk space. Because there does seem to be an untoward measure of risk working in these fields for some strange reason. So, because this is a real question, if there is something being hidden, is it a technological advantage, national security issue, or something that fundamentally changes the physics we understand today, or our understanding of that physics? Physics is physics. It don't change. How we interpret it might. So I've been around this world for a long time. I've seen real programs, real research, real people pushing the edge of what's possible. And I can tell you this. Most of it is explainable, but not all of it. So, yes, people die. Not all cases are suspicious, but the pattern is real enough to question. So the takeaways. If there are technologies that are being suppressed or controlled, that does have downstream effects on energy, defense, and infrastructure. And, there should be a watch list to bear in mind here. More whistleblowers, congressional hearings, any additional coincidental deaths, things to pay attention to. Because of this, if this pattern continues, the next question won't be what happened. It will be, why didn't we take it seriously sooner? Now, my friends, all kind of questions come up due to these things. A lot of researchers have met strange, untimely demises. And like I said, some of them were giving us warnings. What does that tell us? That some things are too much to know? Why is that? I've done a video where I talked about the possibilities of technologies being extremely powerful in the kind of fields we're talking about. Could it be because of that they don't want people to know it? Could it be because certain companies are afraid, wow, our rockets will be outdated, we're going to lose billions of dollars? Could it be government insiders? Or is it all just pure coincidence? Oh, yeah, for that video about the technology, I'll put a link right here. And if you haven't seen my latest video on Amy Eskridge, I'll put another link right up here to watch. So I really hope that you guys will watch these videos and do comment below and tell me what you think about all this. What do you think is really going on? I'd like to hear what you got to say about it. And some of you may have inside knowledge. Be careful with that. Anyway, uh, uh, I take it dearly that I didn't know a couple of these people, and it really hits me hard to see what's happened. So with that, I just want to say again, let me know what you think about it. Thank you all for watching. Greg out.